How's it going, man?
Going great. How are you?
Good. Pretty big opportunity for you this week, obviously, against a name that's been around for a long time. Talk to me a little bit about the matchup, I guess, and what you thought when you initially got the call for it.
I initially got the call for it my last fight.
Mm-hmm.
He fell out in COVID and everything, and hopefully he's fully recovered and feeling great. Um, I was excited for it then. I'm even more excited for it now, and I truly believe that it was meant to be here and this time and everything. Like live packed stadium in his hometown makes it even that much sweeter, that much greater, and I'm really excited for the matchup.
So when it got scrapped the first time, you at that point were like, God, I hope they put this back together again, or
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was like, well, obviously my focus switched and it's like, I got to prepare for or get my mind right for whoever I'm going against. But yeah, right after I was like, man, let's make this happen. I messaged the matchmakers and they made it sound, unsure. Like, there was the chances were unlikely for it to happen again to match up and just the way things, I don't know if it was just because of COVID or what, but the chances were unlikely. And thankfully, it came together. I was pushing for it constantly on them, and then also pushing, on social media. And then I seen UFC Columbus. I know he's from here, so I was just like, perfect. Was like, messaged at him on Twitter and stuff like that too. Was like, let's make this happen. And thankfully, it did. The contract came through, had his name on it, and so happy about it.
we'll talk about that for a minute. The fact that he's fighting in front of his home fans. I mean, he'll get the big pop on Saturday night, of course. But you've been through that before too. I mean, you fight Jake Ellenberger kind of on
Jake
on his
Ellenberger. I
turf,
fought
and
Warley Alves in Brazil, in his hometown. So
so does that matter to you? I mean, does it give you extra motivation? Does it give
you
you an extra
know,
chip on your shoulder, or is it one of those things where you know what, man, the cage door closes, we could be on the moon, it doesn't matter.
well, it honestly doesn't matter where we're fighting. I mean, we could be in the parking lot on Saturday night. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to give the performance that I know I'm going to give. And but really, being here in his own back town, in his backyard, and anytime I fight in somebody's backyard, it's even better. Like it gives me that much more excitement. Not so much like motivation, yes, I guess, but it just makes me that much more excited to get in there and really perform and put on a show for everybody in front of his fans. And I know I'll maybe get booed a little bit, maybe not. If people know how I fight, they know I'm going to bring it to them. So they're going to be excited for the matchup. And I truly believe this is the people's main event. And we're going to go out there and put on a show for these fans.
A little bit of an up and down run for you, I guess you'd call it the past few years, but now an opportunity to put something together for the first time in quite a while. What does that do in terms of training camp, motivation, stuff like that, in terms of I guess the mental side of the fight game?
Yeah, I've had some ups and downs, the last ones, like you said. But I've also been through some trauma situations in life, surgeries, almost dying, and was able to bounce back from that. So even coming back and, taking a loss off of something like that, well, that's not a big deal to me. I've already won. I'm here today, which is a miracle. And, I'm happy to be able to still do what I love when told I might not be able to. So it's a win, and I'm going to go in there and I'm really feeling the best me yet, and I feel like, I got those couple fights out of the way coming back from injury and, from death and feeling great now. And I feel like I'm the best I've ever been, and I'm ready to show that.
Is that something that you think about every single day? Like, do you literally think about that surgery and everything that was behind it every day of your life since then?
Yes, not in like a scared sense of like it could happen again or, I may die at some point or something like that. Nothing like that. But yes, I always remind myself of that because I'm truly blessed. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to have my family, to be able to spend another day with my family. Being away from them is that much more costly to me. It means that much more to be with them. And that's the most important part. And then, on top of it, I get to still do what I love, which is fight and get paid for it and be able to support my family for that. So I don't worry about it, but yes, I keep it as a constant reminder of like, let's get the most out of every single day.
Sure. Talk to me a little bit about the matchup and what he brings to the table. I guess on paper, people would look at the two of you and maybe more than on paper, just look at your past fights and say, God, this is going to be, like you kind of alluded to, like this is going to be a true scrap. I mean, couple blue collar guys here just to like to go in there and get dirty and get bloody.
Yep.
But what else does he bring to the table that you need to, perhaps concern yourself with on Saturday night?
He is a skilled veteran. He's been in there. He's been in there with some of the best in the world, and he's been able to test himself and go against those guys and make things happen. Come with wins, and still, even for his age, he's an old guy. He knocked out his last opponent, so he's constantly expanding his game, even still, and constantly improving. So, there's always dangers in everywhere, but I'm continuing to get better. Like I said, I feel like the best I've ever felt, and continuing to improve my game. And I think when I get in there, I'm going to be able to take advantage of situations and get the best of him. And whether he wants to strike, whether he wants to wrestle, clinch, it doesn't matter. I believe I'm going to be the best in those situations.
Thanks, man.
Hey, just one more here. Yeah. We don't see a lot of repeat nicknames in the UFC. Well, if it comes down to it, are you going to fight Tuivasa for your nickname back? I mean,
hey, I have been talking about moving up to heavyweight. I do like to eat, so if we want to do it, we can go for it. And I don't know if I want to go against him, like as far as like for the name. I've had this name since childhood. I was technically here first.
That's what I thought.
But I'm down to share it with such a beast and a guy who's doing some great things and seems like a hell of a guy and a fun guy. So
Thank you.
As an Ohio guy myself, I appreciate the outfit, which today looks like a nod to our agriculture here, I assume in Ohio, right?
absolutely, to Ohio, to farmers, agriculture all the way around the world. I live in Tennessee now, and I've been there for 4 years and started building a farm out there and really getting into regenerative farming and giving back to the soil and building the soil and creating fresh food for my family, where we know exactly what's going into it and what they're eating, how they're being treated, and giving back to us and really going full circle.
That's fantastic. It sounds like that could be something stressful, but knowing what you do for a job, that's probably a nice break away from it, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's people look at farming and it's a lot of work. It really is. There's a lot behind it. But for me, it doesn't feel like work. Just like fighting doesn't feel like work to me. Like I really enjoy it, and farming on the other side is a lot more peaceful. Like for me, it's like I get to relax. I'm out there, in the fields or whatever, working and with the animals, and it's just really peaceful for me.
And when you talked about this fight and how you really wanted this one to come back again around after you had set up for it, was there beef there, or was it just the fact at one point you got your mind set for it and then it didn't get to happen?
Never beef. I'm a fan. I'm truly a fan. I like Matt Brown. Actually, when I fought Warley Alves, he fought in the same card, and he didn't have a sauna suit or whatever, or sweet sweat. I lent him the rest of my sauna suit that I didn't use, and the sweet sweat and stuff or whatever. That was like my first interaction with him or whatever. Cool dude. He's great. He's a nice guy. And like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his fighting style. And it was never about beef to remaking the fight or, being the one to take him out or anything like that. It's really a respect thing, and I'm honored to fight him. And like I said, I'm most excited about the fight because of the way he fights, and it makes me, excited to fight him for that.
And with that, I mean, he hasn't had a title in the UFC or anything along those lines, but would this win be the biggest win in your career in the UFC?
I would say so, I guess. Yeah, I would say so. I fought another legend in Jake Ellenberger, he's definitely up there too. It'll definitely be a nice feather in the cap.
And lastly, what color are we going with this week?
My daughter called it Galaxy for the fingernails and toenails, and it's just like, we got some colors that she said are in space, the blue, the purple. We got
See the glitter, is that the
black
stars?
with the stars, yeah. And then we got like a little swirl going on there with in the black. So, and then of course pink. You gotta have pink.
Awesome. Do they travel with you? Are they here with you? Or
They are not here with me. They'll be here this weekend though.
Awesome.
For the fight.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.